Hi, creators. This is Doro Kiley with creationcoach.com. And today I want to go over I'll call it sort of a packet of information or a insight or a download, something that came to me. This was a while ago and it's really been getting more and more clarified. It's um it's a I'll give a little bit of a demonstration here through a slideshow, but it's basically the whole spiritual path in a nutshell, which is which is really powerful for me anyway, and I hope it resonates with some of you. So it starts like this. This, if you can see, there's like a lake, and here's the sky and some mountains and what have you. So this is a representation of consciousness. Let's just say this is what the Hindus call the ocean of Maya, infinite possibilities, anything can happen. So what comes to me is I used to be a scuba diver. So what comes to me was this is very much like, and stay with me for it'll come together, but scuba diving. So up on the top, near the top of the water, you can feel it's warmer. Let's put this in here. It's warmer, it's lighter, it's got less pressure. So up here is where you're having a lot of fun. Okay, but as you go down, you can see that it becomes more risky, which it does as a scuba diver. And then the farther down you get, it becomes more dangerous. So it becomes colder, darker, more pressure. So you can see the difference here in all of these aspects of light and heat and pressure. And depending on how they are manifesting, it's going to determine how you're having fun, taking risk, or really going into danger. So from there, let me just remove these little people. I want you to think in terms of now density. So up here, it's lighter. This is why I love the lake image, because it almost looks and feels the same to me as the actual densities in color and sound. Let's see if I have that over here. So yeah, there's our notes, our musical notes. So and I can't say that I have all of this perfect. This just came to me so quickly in a meditation that I may have lost some of the details. So, let's fill it in. Let's see what else there is. And then what comes to me is the cosmic energy. Okay, so now we're moving up into the chakra system. So here is right in the middle, which is the love. And if you're gonna have an open, vulnerable, authentic heart, it comes with grief. According to the way that the chakras have been defined, it kind of like they go hand in hand. It's like two sides of a coin. And each chakra, and of course, these are always up for interpretations. I'm certainly not a scholar on any of this. As I said, it just suddenly came to me something along, and I've been trying to really get clarity on what it all means. And this is what it's coming to. So down, and you can almost see this is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Down here is the survival. You've got to get your basic needs met. You've got to breathe, you've got to eat and shelter. So, and then as you work your way up, you begin to have more creativity and pleasure. And here you find meaning in your life as you go higher, and then understanding and this kind of universal consciousness, kind of seeing that we are all one and we're just here dancing with each other, and then it kind of goes out and about. And so I'm gonna try to also put a layer on top of this that actually shows how it gets recycled. So then we can also put here the caduceus, which is another symbolic reference to increasing wisdom, and finally enlightenment. So in my mind, this seems to represent the Kundalini, and there's all kinds of representations, and sometimes you even see it just simply with ribbons. But in a nutshell, this appears to be the basic game we're playing. This is the cosmic path game that we're playing. Is how do you go from the darkest, deepest, hellish realm of survival, getting your next breath, all the way up into this cosmic, universal consciousness. And you can interpret that to mean Buddha consciousness, Christ consciousness. Some would interpret the energy chi or prana as being conscious. But then you've got all this. So wherever you are in here, the farther away you are from the center, let me bring that up too. Get a little here somewhere. Right up the center there. So this little white line, that's what I call the spiritual path. And the more centered you stay on the spiritual path, the easier your life is. And this is the point of balance. And I don't want to jump too quickly ahead, but it's pretty well laid out. And I think the evidence for it all throughout history, Egyptian, Greek, Sumerian, I mean, you name it. These are almost universal symbols. And if you look from the big bird's eye view, they kind of are all saying exactly the same thing. But if you're outside the middle, okay, this is where the drama is. And the farther you are on the outskirts of this, say you're kind of, the pendulum, right, is just swinging really wide. It's going to be difficult, but very dramatic. And, depending on if that's just the way you want to be, you can have all the drama in the world. Perfectly fine with free will. You're getting down into the danger zone. And, who knows where that goes? Some people get very, very stuck there. And you basically have to try a little bit and call for help to get out of some of these deep realms. So that's the bottom line. That's hitting bottom, right? And then you're basically working your way up, and at some point you kind of get tired of the big drama, and you start looking for peace. And then maybe somewhere up here you're going more into the arts and literature and acting and poetry. All this is where all the arts are, and then the philosophies, and this is the beauty of humanity, starts right in here. I mean, it's all through here if you're really looking for it. It's just an incredible game. But then we move up into this point of love, which is where you're really starting to see that this is just the most magnificent experience that we could have ever come up with. And you understand at this point that we are the ones dancing here, and we've totally forgotten. Many of us, most of us, have totally forgotten the point of what we're doing. But now many of us are starting to wake up and saying, "Oh, that's what this has all been about." And we have this choice of continuing upward into total enlightenment, which many of us will do and have an opportunity to do, which basically is where you really see the whole picture, and you can just disappear because you won the game. You don't have to go that high. I mean, really, where I try to aim for, just because I enjoy this world, I want to be here. I enjoy just running water over my hands, and I mean, this is a beautiful planet, and so this is where I want to be. Many of you want to keep going. Now, I do feel like I've experienced most of this, and feel like, yeah, that's great, and I can just kind of go up and disappear when I want to. But let's play. Let's see what kind of a world we can create. So what that brings in is this concept of bringing in this heaven on earth. Um, let's put this here. Okay, so this starts to get more a little bit touching on ancient histories and Sumerian cuneiform tablets and Hinduism. So and these Brahma and Anu, you can see counterparts of these gods or aliens, whatever you want to call them, in Egyptian, and I don't have all these memorized, but this is all repeated through Greek mythology, ancient Egyptian mythology. I believe South America, and I don't know enough about it, but I feel that it's getting kind of obvious that almost every culture has its definition and beings representing these aspects of the spiritual path. And here we have Brahma, Shiva, and Vishnu. And you could call this the Trinity, Brahma, Shiva, and Vishnu. So Brahma is the all-knowing everything, chi, prana, what all, bliss, knowledge, all of it, everything. And Brahma or Anu comes into the earth, and it depends on how you want to view these things. But first there was this Shiva or Enlil, the older brother, who is like the architect, and then and Vishnu, Enki, kind of takes over this process of creating humans, creating the human form, coming into 3D, into more and more solidity. So if you imagine down here about as hard as you can get, and all the way up here kind of dissipating into the fine ethers. So Enki starts to bring mankind into Earth and 3D, and so we're beginning to learn reading and writing. It's a tremendous history, and I don't know even a tiny bit of it. I'm just kind of talking from books I've scanned. But so you have this spiritual path that goes up, and this is the heaven on earth. I believe at this point in history of our spiritual development, we're having an opportunity. Here's Vishnu, here's Shiva. Right in the center is heaven on earth. And that's where I think our goal is, because we don't want to go down here into all the because both of these are becoming more contrasting, if you'll notice. Like the bad guys are getting worse and the good guys are getting better, kind of. And so it's being squeezed, and it's going to get extremely, possibly dramatic. So staying right in the center, right on the path, which is see if I can, there's lots more to bring up here. I don't want to get too confusing, but this path, make sure I've got most of this shown already. Yeah. Okay, so this path you can also now see as the torus. I'm gonna increase that for a second. Is that working? Oh no, I was hang on. Torus. Okay, there we go. All right, so so this is the inside of this torus, and this I'm gonna just scale it down a little bit so you can see that. All right, that doesn't want to be all the way up there. So you can see that the Kundalini goes from the bottom of the torus all the way to the top. Take that all the way up. So again, you can see how the torus fits in there. So we're starting all the way down to the bottom. These are hell realms, and we're working our way up the realms, and we want to stay here. If you want to help humanity or be here with humanity, bring out the best in humanity, find out who we are, and be of service to humanity. This is our goal, okay? If you're ready to just let go of everything, that's fine. You go, you're going more into the Shiva, Brahma, which is the path of dissolution of the ego. and down here where Vishnu brings in his avatars, these are avatars are there's a lot of them actually. Let's see, Rama and Krishna, and I think this in heaven, I think, was the avatar of Jesus. Absolutely in the center, talking about heaven on earth. The kingdom of heaven is within. Um, and he also wasn't depicted as one of the blue skin avatars of Vishnu. So anyway, let's go back out. So right now we see life is being recycled, right? So we start out here, we work our way up, we go out, and we're really just we're going to just get recycled back in. And depending on our karma, you know, I don't know how all that works, but that's my concept that came to me. Now here is the Taurus, and again, you can imagine a person in there meditating, coming, and our now these are what do I mean by we are coming up through. These are what we're grabbing onto, all of our attachments, everything we are looking at, giving our attention to, with any intention, especially because that gives energy to it, kind of gets going up, and it gets interpreted as really dark survival, and then moving into pleasure, and so on up the line. And these are different layers of conscious, subconscious, unconscious. So, and then we just kind of go out and do it again. And this is the form of a Taurus. Now, this Taurus is pretty well, I believe, and I just don't know enough about anything to really speak with any authority, but I think Nikola Tesla had some discovery thing to do with this, that he actually was the one to discover it. You can certainly correct me. So we kind of just keep going around and around, and we can look at that from another angle. Let's look at the actual flower of life. Now, this is the Taurus looking down through the center from the top. And you can see how so many ancient cultures have used this symbol, the flower of life. It represents the wheel of karma that we just keep coming out the top and kind of getting recycled and coming in and around and around and around and around. Now, my understanding is we don't do this for infinity. We do this until we have completed the whole cycle, the whole stuff, everything. And just to get more complicated, these rings are supposed to supposedly represent time, which is a mental formation. And then as well, the rings that we don't really see on this diagram, I guess, are kind of going more in a spiral this way, which is representative of space or something. And I might have all that wrong, but this is all you're starting to see. I'm starting to see how so much is coming together of all of this. So this came to me, believe it or not, in a flash, and during my meditation, and it just makes sense. Suddenly it makes sense. And so when you're in these outside of this, let's go back up and play with this one here. Okay, so if you've just come out, and this is the center, right? This is the path, right? We're calling the spiritual path from bottom to top, and so anywhere in between here, you can be having your life experiences, consciously, unconsciously, subconsciously, whatever. And the more dramatic it is towards the outside is just a lot of emotion happening. And so what meditation does is it helps, kind of bring you out of all this, the intensity of vibrations of every emotion, every frequency, and help you to come closer into the center where things actually flow in a more smooth way. Amazingly so, suddenly their opportunities are happening and doors are opening, and you don't have to do anything. I mean, meditation does everything. And we can call that Dharma. When you're in the center, just going with what is, and the peace of mind is the key there. Things are just happening by themselves. It's like every animal knows exactly what to do next because it's tuned in. So this is great. So we keep going around until we're done. We're never going to be stuck in it for infinity. We just have to go around and get it all done. Get all the lessons. We got to go all the levels, right? If you think of this in terms of a game, what a perfect analogy, I think. So we got to go all the levels. And by the way, if you're right here in the middle, the levels are easier. You can go faster and things get done more quickly. If you're big into drama, it's going to take you a long time. So so what we want to do is work our way up, all the way up. And yes, you can go all the way into Brahma enlightenment and then choose to come back and be of service in creating heaven on earth. Don't have to. You don't have to go all the way up. You just have to see the beauty and see how we're connected. Here's an exercise for you. Next time you're washing your hands, feel the temperature of the water over your hands. Listen to the water running over your hands and connect with all the beings, all the humans that have come before and are alive now and will come after, who have heard that sound, who have felt that feeling on the hands. This is us. This is all of us coming together. We have to see our humanity. We have to define our common ground. This is the common ground I want to bring in and say, this is what we're aiming for. Heaven on earth. So with that, I hope you all stay creative, and I'll talk to you later.